We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
As soon as I hit record, then all of a sudden somebody's like blowing leaves outside now.
It's yard work time.
I can't catch a break. There's always noise going on everywhere around me.
You need to like assemble a full soundproof booth for yourself.
Apparently.
At this point.
Because every episode there's like a car going by or a siren or something.
It's nice. Maybe it's nice ambiance. Maybe it puts you
for me or for people listening.
The listeners. It puts you in the real world, versus like some sort of space vacuum.
When I would think that people want to use this as an escape from the real world.
But they want to
We bring them into a fantasy world.
But they want to know that the escape from the real world is coming from the real world.
Okay.
Like, we're an attainable escape. If we were not in the real world, we'd be like, well, I'll never meet those guys. They're not around sirens or leaf blowers like I am.
Right.
What do you think? So you would rather it seem like we were coming from some unreachable fantasy,
like mystical, fantastical fantasy land, yeah.
Like so are you talking about something that doesn't exist or something like we're in space or something? Like we're not on the Earth.
Yeah, I think I want to whisk people away to a fantasy land.
So something on Earth or not on Earth. Like another dimension maybe?
Or just a different plane of existence, yeah.
Okay, so maybe a parallel dimension or something where
something like that.
They can forget their woes and worries of their real lives.
Yeah.
And just come along with us for an hour and change.
Do you think it'd be weird to ride on the back of a centaur? Because it's like part human or part person, not necessarily part human.
So if the centaur offered to give me a ride somewhere, I would probably say yes.
It'd be weird.
The only thing I'd be weird about is I would not want to use any kind of reins.
Yeah.
Or spurs. I wouldn't have any spurs on my boots. I wouldn't want to, I wouldn't feel right. Not that I feel right about, being a slightly cruel to a horse. So it does to get it to do what I want. But, there would be a next level of uncomfortability if it were, if I had to put like a muzzle and some kind of leather straps around the face of a human, a human face.
Right.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't want to like quote unquote own a centaur as my mode of transportation that I keep in a stable or something like that. But if I need to get somewhere quick and the centaur's like, hop on, I'd be like, awesome.
Do you think it would be like almost like a form of slavery to own a centaur versus like owning a horse is just like an animal we're all animals, but
I think it'd be at the same level.
Yeah, because it's like they have like a different level of consciousness than like just a horse would. So like a horse, you take care of it and it's more of a pet in that sense. Whereas a centaur would be like, I can take care of myself.
Yeah,
and you're forcing me to stay here.
I don't need you to feed me oats.
Yeah, because then you'd like with a horse, you keep it in a barn and stuff like that, but it's not like imprisoned so much. But like a centaur, you'd have to imprison him because he'd be like, he could just be like, I'm gonna just open this gate and leave.
Yeah, he has the dexterity to be able to, get himself out. Now, since the horse can't get itself out of the barn, would you not consider that imprisonment of some kind? Or are you providing it shelter?
There's a weird level of like, what do you consider animal imprisonment versus it's a pet that I keep in my house and I take care of and we cohabitate. I mean, I guess it's no different than having a cat or a dog that, or like, I guess not necessarily a dog because you take your dog outside and stuff like that, but like having an indoor cat, like my cats are pretty much indoor cats. If they do go outside, it's like on the back deck with us.
You risk that, huh? Do you think they'd dart off and run? They try to run down the stairs?
No, they chill. They're good.
I've never seen anyone walk a cat like have a leash on, and a collar on a cat and take it for a walk? You tried it. How'd it go?
Yeah. Not great.
Now, was it both
because
cats at once, or was it just one cat?
No. I've tried it separately with each, but they don't really care because it's not just a straight collar because they'll just freak out and wiggle out.
It's like a harness, really?
Yeah, it's like a full body harness. And cats are weird like that unless you really like get them comfortable with it. As soon as you put something on them, they're just like, nah, and they just like fall over and don't want to like move around because they feel constricted.
Nonviolent protest?
Pretty much, yeah.
They're standing in the middle of the street in front of the tank.
Yeah, like I'll put it on Montgomery and he'll like wear it and like I have a leash on him and stuff. Sometimes if I take him outside and I don't want to like worry about him walking off, I'll put the harness on him and put the leash on him that I can just hold onto the leash and he can kind of roam around on the deck.
Hold on. You saying that when you strap on this harness to the cat defiantly just sort of plops itself down because it doesn't want to move around. So why don't you have these on the cats at all times?
Because I'm not cruel.
Oh, I see. They're choosing to lay. It's not like you're restricting them. They're choosing to just lay down.
So I mean, if I wanted him to just be super used to it, I would just put it on him, and then he would just get used to the fact that he's wearing it all the time.
No, I don't think you want to do that.
Be fine with it.
I think what you need to do is strategically use it. Like I want these two cats to leave each other alone for a while, and make it so I don't need to intervene and be bothered by them. I'm going to slap on the harnesses. They're going to think I'm taking them for a walk or something, and they're going to defiantly just plop on the ground and sit still for a while.
It could possibly work.
It will. Yep. It will work.
Well, hello and welcome to High School Famous. Hold on.
Come on. You had it.
The podcast that fills in the blanks by bringing people you probably didn't know into your life and offering some context. I'm Matt.
I'm Sean.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Almost 8 minutes in and finally did that.
So, fill in the blanks. If you were talking about if you had a bullet, like a blank, and you filled it, if you filled in the blank, does that make it an actual bullet?
Depends on what you fill it in with.
A bullet?
Then yes.
Okay. So, we might be suggesting that our podcast turns safe blank bullets into real bullets.
I mean, I don't know if anybody else would have made that connection other than you.
Whatever the case may be, I don't condone this trajectory we found ourselves to be on.
Well, sometimes you're not going to agree with everything that we talk about.
But I will agree that we talked about it.
I would hope so.
It'd be hard to deny. I could deny it all I want, but it'd be hard for anyone to back me up in my denial of our discussion of something if it's on here. On record.
Yeah.
But damn it, I'm going to try.
Cool. I had nothing to
I could tell.
Add to that.
Yeah, I could tell.
At all.
You got distracted.
Yeah, I've been easily distracted lately. So I was thinking of something that I wanted to put together.
A puzzle?
No, well, because
an IKEA stool.
We're getting ever increasingly closer to our 100th episode.
That's true. We are doing that.
We need to get some stuff prepared for that. So I had something that I wanted to get prepared for that. So I thought I had it. I had some stuff on a hard drive from a while back, and unfortunately, I spent yesterday and a little bit of this morning like searching through. I have 3 old hard drives laying around, and I was trying to find the thing that I thought I had, and unfortunately, it's nowhere to be found. But I'm hoping I still have it in analog form somewhere.
Oh,
it was
really?
Something that I thought I typed up a while ago.
So you had handwritten it?
Can't find it. It's something that was handwritten. It's something that I don't know if I handwrote it or if you handwrote it, but it's something that we did together a while back that I was looking for, and I thought I had typed it up.
That was my next question. Is this something I'm aware of?
Yes.
But clearly it is.
It is, and we can talk about it off the air because I don't want to do it. I don't want to give anything away.
Right. or clue them into something that might not come to be.
Or that, yeah. This
100.
might all be for naught. But hopefully I can find it somewhere. But it's it's something I want to have prepared for the old 100 episode.
Uno Hundo, it's called.
Yeah, I was also doing some listening back to some stuff, trying to find things to use for it as well. So,
well, wonderful.
Trying to prep for it because it's getting closer and closer. I mean, we got, I don't know what this is, 86, 87?
So, somewhere.
Sure.
It's in the 80s somewhere.
It's in the 80s somewhere. So yeah, I mean, it's still a little ways away, but it'll come up fast. It's getting close. Oh yeah, it's gonna get there real quick. Yeah, this is number 87.
Oh wow, that's farther than I thought.
Yeah, we're 13 episodes away from hitting the old 100. So it's time to get prepared.
Get
That's
ready,
only a few more months,
folks.
So.
Get ready.
Yeah,
for,
I hope you're excited because we're thrilled to do a bunch of work for it. So.
Yes, we're stoked, which means we're stirred around and possibly slightly hotter than we just were.
Mm-hmm.
We're
bring those coals to the surface so they can
catch some oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
We're like that. We're like recently oxygenated hot coals. All about the hundo, the Uno Hundo episode.
I don't think that's how you say 100 in Spanish.
I haven't. Hold on. I'm having my people fact check that right now. That's actually how you say. That's how you say 600. So I was way off. So sorry, everyone.
Also,
sorry.
Not correct.
Uno Hundo is 600, not 100.
No.
What do you call it? What would you say Uno Hundo is?
I would say that's not anything.
Well, You're saying one hundo. So you're saying hundo is 100 and one is one, correct?
Lots of people. I don't even remember saying that.
You did this episode. So I don't
think anybody heard it.
It's there. So I merely modified it I changed one to uno, which is correct. I'm not suggesting that Uno Hundo is proper Spanish for 100. I'm just saying it's a slightly more Spanish version of what you said, and I'll fight you.
A lot of things are a slightly more Spanish version of what I've said.
I'll fight your shirt and your pants.
That's not fighting me, though.
Well, you're controlling them. If you think about it, if I were to strike you in the chest, for example, and you're wearing a shirt, I'm technically just hitting your shirt, and your shirt is hitting you. So if I'm punching and kicking your pants and your shirt while fighting you, you could kind of say I'm fighting your pants and your shirt, and they are then hitting you as a result. It's a chain reaction. Every action causes an equal and opposite reaction, as we all know. So me punching your shirt equals your shirt hitting you, and you crying.
I don't know why it's taking me this long in my life to realize, but you put a lot of mental effort into the most pointless things.
Yep. I don't put mental effort into advancing my own position in life.
Right.
It's this stuff. Like
learning a new trade or, skill of some sort.
Why get a solid grasp on my finances so that I can, be set for retirement?
Right.
When I can.
No, instead I'm going to make weird arguments towards my friends
about
needless things.
When I can mull over whether or not I'm fighting you or your clothes.
Right.
But hey, that's more that I seem to. I mean, I'm not getting that same level of energy from you. So where do you put your focus?
I think it's pointless for you to fight my clothes, because if I wasn't wearing my clothes would have absolutely no beef with you whatsoever.
So you're saying that
my clothes aren't going to hit you back.
Your clothes have a beef with me
when
you're wearing them?
No, I mean, I'm saying they have no. If my clothes were over here, you have no quarrel with them. But my clothes are on me, and now you're fighting them.
Yeah.
So really what it comes down to is you only hate my clothes when they're on me. So you'd rather just me never have clothes on.
I guess it kind of got around to that. One could
as soon as you see me in clothes, then you just start swinging.
I get mad.
But if my clothes are over there and I'm here without clothes, you're like, everything's fine.
Now, I did I was very specific on shirt and pants.
Okay.
Right? You show up in a cocktail dress, I'm fine.
Okay.
A
keep that in mind.
A kilt and a tank top, do it.
I don't. My kilt is in Minnesota.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in the shop.
No, yeah.
My kilt's in the shop.
It's getting its tires rotated.
It's got too many legs.
Yeah.
Your kilt. Why is your kilt left behind?
Because I left all it was in a box with I keep all my actual Renaissance gear in, and there's no need for me to have that out here.
Sure.
So I just left it at my parents' place.
Is it in the big crate stage you built?
No, because that's still out at Fest.
Oh, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So the troop is using it.
They were up through last year, and then this year, I don't think they're going to be out there at all.
Oh, they're not. Oh, interesting.
Because the troop ended up the last couple years only being 2 people. It had whittled down because the rest of us have all retired from it, I guess.
End of an era.
No, well, different things with other, one of the troop members moved on and became the prince out there. Another troop member was having too many conflicts with work, so he couldn't do it anymore. And then another one just having, I think it became too much of a strain physically and stuff. So medical issues kind of pulled her away. I obviously moved, and then
you thought doing the Minnesota Renaissance Fair from while living in Chicago was just too inconvenient. Out of your way.
It's a little tough for me to go home 7 weekends in a row,
right,
and then come back here to do my actual job.
Just take 7 weeks off your actual job and stay here for that long.
Great. And then this year, now the director needed to take the year off. So I think the other person in the troupe who wasn't in the troupe when I was there is going to be doing stuff with other groups. So this year they're just going to be done. So I don't know if it'll start up again the following year or if they're just done completely now. But
sounds like they might be done.
Might be done. End of an era, because that troupe had been out there for quite a few years. I was with them for 5 years or 4 years. I was with them, and they had been doing it. The other 5 years I was out at Fest, they were doing it, and they had been doing it a few years prior to that, and then they were still doing it up until this year. So it's an additional 5 years after I quit, or 6. When did I quit?
So we're looking
another 5 years since I was done with them.
Somewhere between 15 and 20.
Yeah, they've been there for quite a few years. So
maybe they'll carry on with like maybe 1 remaining or 2 remaining members and a whole new, a new set of members.
It just really depends on what the director decides to do after this year off. So we'll see. End of an era.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
But yeah, and I said it again.
Twice. Yeah, you said it twice now. So 3 times total.
Now everybody knows.
Yeah, we're now sans era.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's where my kilt is.
Okay. So what else is new, mister? I just got back from Top Golf. Have you ever been?
Is that just a driving range?
Yeah.
No, I've never gone to a driving range.
So I'm not sure if all driving ranges are the same, but this one has these big targets on the ground.
Yeah, I think we've talked about before you'd gone there once. Yeah.
Yeah. This is this is our 3rd time.
Okay.
Venturing out, but man, do I have a mean slice. I was able to sort of correct it this time. I think I figured out what I've been doing wrong, but a lot of my shots really just I have to turn myself and face really far to the left to try to aim for something in the center.
I think if you just drop your front leg back a little bit, might help quite a bit.
You're not supposed to keep them just.
If you just drop the one back slightly, you'll pull your body slightly differently. Probably. Try it next time you go.
Yeah, I figured out that I was twisting my body too much, so I was doing more of a straight follow through and then turning once my club was a lot higher up. It helped. But I noticed this time and the last time that I was trying to get a bunch of shots in at the end, like as time was running out.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking about it too much, and my shots were like much more straight when I wasn't
Right.
in my head about it. So I almost tried to summon Mr. Meeseeks to improve my golf game, but no one came.
No, and as proven, be a tragedy.
Yeah.
Had you done that.
Yeah. A hilariously entertaining yet also incredibly sad and torturous event.
That's like the only episode of that show I've ever watched.
I know. I mentioned it because I knew you would know what it was.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, Mr. Meeseeks is a character on a show called Rick and Morty. They are summoned to solve a problem that someone's having. And once they've solved their problem, they can then flash out of existence, and then they're at peace.
Their whole point of existing is to help somebody out and then basically die, I guess.
Yeah. So in this episode, one of the characters, he had requested that the Mr. Meeseeks guy, and you can summon multiple. They just pop in and out.
Yeah.
But the problem he wanted solved was he wanted to improve his golf game by like a few strokes or something like that.
I think it was like 2 strokes or something. It wasn't like, it was not much.
And it went horribly because, that's a hard one to sort of just solve easily because you're
just practice. You just got to play a lot.
It's all on the person that's playing.
It's all on the person, and it's dependent on so many factors of like the course, the weather that day, the ball you use, the club you use. There's a million things. Like you could be playing with one set of clubs for years and years and years, buy a brand new set that's maybe a little different, and you could immediately be like improve your game just on the clubs you use or changing the ball you use. The way the course is maintained can change so many factors.
It's crazy with stuff like that. Like you would think if you're not involved with, if you don't know much about golf, you would think, a golf ball is a golf ball. It's just a golf ball. But
there's so many different kinds. It's insane.
And golf clubs, I can understand that. Mm-hmm. That's a little more obvious that there would be a lot of variations of golf clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't golf regularly at all. I don't, as far as actual golf, I don't ever go. So I'm never going to be.
It's been a long time.
I'm never going to be in a point where I'm like, okay, let me really figure out which type of clubs are the best for me and which type of ball I should use and what type of shoes I should wear. But if you're, the people, the pros, they're super serious about it. They know they probably have a different set of clubs depending on what course they're playing or what the weather's like. They probably have all this stuff kind of figured out after so much trial and error and probably having their shots analyzed by a computer and all this other stuff.
Oh yeah.
Not me. I'm a casual player.
It's crazy. Yeah, man, I couldn't tell you the last time I touched a golf club.
But it's an expensive hobby.
Oh God, yeah. It was. Yeah. So I worked at a golf course for 4 years and like got to play free golf and shit, and it still just was too much.
I know, and it's funny. We never like went golfing when you worked there.
I worked there for 4 years, and I golfed there probably 4 times.
See, I think I kind of I was picturing golf as like, old men that are retired go play golf.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like,
that's the majority
of
the people that would be there.
Golf is an old person sport. Hey, let's go bowling instead.
Yeah. Also,
which is an old person's game. The young man's game.
Yep.
The bowling alley.
How about backgammon?
Backgammon. Bridge.
Gin rummy.
We just play bridge.
Yeah. Chess.
Who was it? Someone told me recently that they thought bridge involved an actual bridge. Like when they heard someone say, I'm going to go play bridge, they thought it was something on a bridge.
Like they're going to go commit suicide.
I guess. Yeah. Or pull a Woody Harrelson climbing up to, I don't know what he was doing. He was doing it to protest something. He climbed up part of the Golden Gate Bridge, I think. You ever hear about that?
Yeah. No.
It was quite a while ago, but he had climbed up part of the Golden Gate Bridge for some reason. I don't know if it was something to do with, marijuana legality or something like that, but it was crazy.
No idea. Sounds like a dumb protest.
Well, do you
like
remember
this'll show them?
Do you remember the? Yeah. Do you remember the time that one of the members of Rage Against the Machine had climbed up something in an award show?
Yeah.
I think because Limp Bizkit won an award or something.
Probably.
Me too.
Great content.
Yeah, I also remember that. The thing I brought
was
up.
also alive when that happened.
Yeah. It would be. It would have been strange had I said I didn't remember it, being that I brought it up.
It'd be a fun way to screw with somebody, though. Just make up a fact.
Yeah, do you remember that time?
Hey, yeah, do you remember when that elephant like broke out of the zoo and like picked up a child and was like in like cross state lines with it?
Yeah, it was like in Montana or something. Remember that?
Yeah, do you remember that?
Oh no, I don't. When was that?
Yeah, oh, I don't remember.
I don't know
either.
I don't think it happened.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fake.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I made that up.
I'm fairly confident I just made it up now.
Yeah.
But man.
You know, that
would have been scary.
I'm about 100% sure that I just made that up.
Roughly. Give or take 0%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up or down.
Could you give and take a percentage? If it's 0, you could.
Yeah.
You could
like give and take.
Yeah. Give and take 0%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the give a penny, take a penny system that I don't think is really used very much anymore.
Well, no, I don't think anybody wants a penny.
Yeah, but I mean, if you buy something and it's like, oh, $10.01, it's like I'll take a penny out of the little thing. Like, yeah, I don't keep pennies on me.
Right. Or if it's like if it's something 06 or
yeah, it always says give a penny, take a penny. So it's like I have to trade out. So if I take one, do I have to give one?
Well, it's like if you have to take a penny, you don't have one to give.
Yeah, but then I feel bad because I took one but didn't give one.
Well, you understand how the system really works,
give one
right?
Next time. Sean, I'm playing on the fact that it's give and take 0%.
Oh, so in the scenario where you are required to replace it in that moment.
Yes, it's give a penny, take a penny. So you need to give and take one.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's just messing with the customers at that point. I mean, you're putting them through extra work. It's
like I have a penny, but I don't want to use my penny, so I'm going to put a penny in the thing and then take a different one to pay with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that mean you value your own penny more than the store's penny or the previously given penny?
No, if I valued it more, I would have just kept it.
But then then you wouldn't be able to follow the give and take system, and you would then
it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory that you do the system. It's only mandatory that if you're going to do it, you have to give and to take.
You don't have to take and then give a penny if you don't need to or want to.
But if you take one, you have to give one.
So what happens if you don't and you get change back? Some of that change includes pennies. Does the store then gave you a penny? So then does the store have to take one of your pennies?
No, because that's a separate transaction. The register transaction is different than the give a penny, take a penny bowl or whatever you want to call it.
Dish, I don't know.
Dish.
So you can go in to buy one thing and maybe have to do 2 transactions for that one item.
It's possible.
Or multiple items.
Mm-hmm.
Or 4 items.
If sure.
What if you need to take 2 pennies?
Then you have to give 2 pennies.
What if you only have 1 penny?
Then you're going to have to come back.
You're going to have to leave your ID and drive home.
You have to put an IOU in there.
But then what if while you're gone getting your new penny, someone just tries to hand them the IOU that you left in there, and then they have to replace it with their own IOU? And does that mean when you get back to the store, you're now off the hook? Like someone else has already taken on responsibility of replenishing that penny?
No, because your IOU is now in the register. So now the register shorted. So now it has gone to the point where it's affecting the register.
So you would have to replenish the register penny, and the other person would have to replenish the take a penny, give a penny, dish penny. Mm-hmm. And then what happens?
The store falls into a sinkhole.
Okay.
Into the center of the earth and is melted.
With everyone inside?
With everybody inside. And all of the pennies and other change form into one giant molten ball of metal that then crawls into your mouth and burns you from the inside.
But you're already you're part of the melted rubble. You were
No,
in the
you
store.
weren't in the building. This is after you've left the store because you've already replaced your penny.
Got it. So how do these stores get employees then? I wouldn't want to work at that store.
Well, this only happens
that's a
if this
realistic
whole
risk.
IOU system
Yeah,
goes
but
to shit,
that's a
which
huge
is rare.
That's a huge risk, though.
Is it?
You're probably more likely to get held up at gunpoint.
Exactly. It's a very low risk. I'm just telling you this is what happens.
But is it? Because if you get held up at gunpoint, there's still some choice by the weapon wielder to not use it, and your life is spared. If the certain events cause that reaction where the store gets melted down, there's no, like, the store can't choose to
what is the person's choice to use the gun or not have to do with it? You just said you're more likely to get held up at gunpoint, and I agreed.
But I'm saying if you get held up at gunpoint, there's still a very good chance there no harm will come to you.
Yeah.
So, but
you're still more likely to get held up at gunpoint than you are to fall into a sinkhole.
Yes, but if the actions happen in the right sequence, you're 100% guaranteed to fall into that sinkhole. So it's a greater risk than getting held up at gunpoint, even though you're more likely.
There's a greater risk of death, but not a greater risk of it happening.
Yeah. So there's a greater risk of death if that happens.
If it happens, you're in that store, there's 100%, 0% give and take of it killing you.
Yes, true. But there's a smaller chance that it will happen at all.
Yes. Very small chance. Have you ever heard of it happening?
Not before today.
Yeah. It's because I made it all up.
Oh, I thought you remembered some. I thought you remembered some.
Came back around. We came back around. That was one of the stupider of discussions we've ever had.
Well,
One of.
Not
the stupidest.
Maybe sometime we should rank them. Go through and rank them all? No? Why are you shaking your head?
No. Because I just re-listened to some episodes about you ranking things, and it made me mad again after already being mad during the episode.
What was I ranking?
Schools based on how many fucking walls they have.
Oh, you listen to that again?
Yeah, I'm playing catch up.
Oh, I see.
I was like 12 episodes behind.
Gotcha.
And I was bored at work, so I'm like, I'm just going to listen.
I'm going to listen to myself. I'm bored.
Well, I want to listen for clips.
Gotcha.
See if there's anything worth clipping. And as I'm listening to it again, I was just like it made me re-angry.
There's no sense in like getting mad.
No, it was just a frustrating thing to listen to.
I, on the other hand, thought it to be quite an entertaining thing to listen to.
It was fun, but it was just like so stupid.
Do your own research,
so
everyone. You'll find my findings to be quite accurate.
We're not starting this again.
We're not. I'm just saying, do it. I'm going to get a bunch of people on my side, you know.
No, you won't. Ever. For anything.
For anything?
Anything. You will never.
Okay. I'm against.
I implore our listeners to never be on your side about anything. You're going to say some really fucked up shit right now.
I'm against murder.
Oh, yeah, I knew it.
I'm all about letting babies eat. I think animals should be treated well and not have products tested on them.
What else?
I think the Earth should continue to have an atmosphere full of oxygen and carbon dioxide.
What else?
I think that doing a good deed is good. I think that you should. I think you should bathe or shower in order to be clean. I think that we should try to maintain the Earth's level of plant life and actually make it improved so that we don't run out of plants. I think that I think child labor is bad and wrong. I think imprisoning babies is wrong. I think that people should have freedom of speech. I also think
That's great, Sean.
those are the only things I believe in, or I stand for, or care for.
Cool. I'll have fun listening back to that later.
Your turn.
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's the move.
I think they understand.
That's the move. That's your move.
Yeah.
That's your move a lot, I think.
What?
Make me do all the work and then go, yeah,
Oh,
I'm all set.
yeah.
It's endearing, I guess.
I just like putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
You wanted to start making claims, so I allowed you to just make those claims.
And some claims were made.
Mm-hmm.
A phrase I can't think of about that.
So you are in a different room today, I've noticed.
Oh, I am. I wasn't sure if you were going to call attention to it. I decided to move my desk up into my room.
Ah.
And it's facing the wall, which is new. I've always had my desk with my back to the wall so I can see out in front of me, but now I'm
Right.
facing the wall. Currently, my little foam panels are sort of leaning against the wall and stacked on top of each other because I hadn't put them up yet because I just did this yesterday. So hopefully it's doing a good enough job of, absorbing to reduce echo.
Yeah. We'll have to see if you have that same problem I was having with the room echo,
Oh, yeah.
like I was having.
I've got more coming, but they won't be here until tonight sometime. But yeah, so I need a change of environment. So we'll see how this works out.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to temporarily secure these to the wall if later on today or tomorrow I was just going to rearrange them.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing. And
Well, fantastic.
the air is on, so I don't know if it'll be picked up or not. It's a lot quieter in here than it was where I was before.
Okay.
So it might not be a problem.
I don't personally hear it, but I also
Don't listen.
well, I have you at a lower volume while I record. When I edit, I'll have the audio turned all the way up so I can hear.
Yeah, it's a lot more quiet.
Noises.
It's a lot more quiet here than downstairs because of there's a big air return at the stairs, and that's where most of the noise. That's where the noise came from before. And one thing that I've found out will be an issue is my very lovely dog. Earlier, she was in here, and I had my door shut to keep out outside noise, and she barked because she wanted to get out of the room. So I let her out of the room, and now 25 minutes to half an hour later, she's barking because she wants to come in the room. And I don't know what to do.
There's been plenty of episodes where you hear meowing in the background because my cats want to come in and out of rooms.
Hopefully she'll just
get my attention in some way.
Hopefully she'll just eventually give up. But I can try to predict when she's going to bark and then mute myself every time.
There you go.
Or I could just stay muted until it's time for me to talk.
I mean, I think the occasional bark is just fine. How many Smodcast episodes have you listened to where Kevin Smith constantly is yelling at his dog to shut up?
35.
Oh, I would have said almost every one.
But that's not a number.
Well, how many episodes are there of that show?
I think they got to be in the 400s by now, if not more, I think.
So you could have said somewhere in the 400s.
I could have, but I said 35.
Okay. I mean, that's a pretty exact number.
Yes.
If for you to
Hey, all right. The dog's in the room now.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
Yep, there she is, standing on the bed, staring. Oh, no, okay. She was staring directly into the camera, into my soul, and she's gone. All right.
That's where she likes to stare.
Into people's souls?
Yeah, but only when they're changing.
Well, and if we know anything about your family, or at least you and your dog at this point.
My family.
is they prefer people with their clothes off. Animals are weird, man. They just smell everything all the time.
I know. The weirdest thing that I've noticed about dogs is they'll act like when they have to go to the bathroom and they have to be let out, they act like it's like an emergency. Like if you don't let me out this moment, you're gonna regret it. And then you take them out and they stop and just kind of sniff around for a while.
Yep. Just be like, well, let me figure out exactly where I want to
Yeah,
pee.
which patch of grass should I circle around and then go to the bathroom on today?
Yeah.
Like it matters.
Where has another dog peed? Because I need to pee on top of that pee directly.
Is that what they do?
I believe so. It's a whole marking of territory thing.
Yeah. Well, I'd hate to break it to you, small dog. You don't have any territory.
Yeah. She just pees on your bed.
Yeah. That's where I pee.
Damn it.
She's peeing right where I pee. On my bed. My bed. Indeed. So I think we might be out of the woods as far as dog barking is concerned.
For now, and then we'll
Right.
see what happens in the next 12 minutes, and then she'll want to leave again.
She'll want to jump down off the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. If only she were a centaur.
Yeah, and then she could just open the door and go out herself.
Yeah, she wouldn't need me to help. She could probably let
It'd be
herself
like
out.
a half human, half dog centaur. But what would that be called? And
Well, you can make up anything because, it's not like the term centaur is linked between the word horse and human, as far
Right.
as I know. So it's not like it has to be some sort of dog, human, centaur name combination. You can just make up any word you want.
yeah, I think the thing is if you say centaur, obviously you say, oh, half human, half horse.
Yeah.
But if you say anything else that's like a variation of human and different animal, it's like, oh no, it's like a dog centaur.
Sure.
Or
sure.
a goat centaur.
Like a pickled cucumber is a pickle, but anything else is a pickled that thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like yeah. So
it should
I guess,
it should be a pickled cucumber because it's not like it's the only thing that's ever pickled. People eat pickled eggs, pickled carrots. I don't know if they do pickled carrots,
I think so.
but yeah,
Pickled jalapenos, right? They do that.
Sure. I mean, I think you can pickle anything.
But, I mean, this would suggest that the cucumber was the first thing ever pickled.
I mean, there's a possibility of that. I'll have to look into the history of pickling. Pickled pig's feet,
Pickleball?
just a ball, like a
No,
tennis ball.
the game pickleball.
Oh, that's
Is
a
it
thing?
called pickleball or just pickle?
I have no idea.
It's kind of like, I suppose it's
Pickle
sort
in
of,
the middle.
it's sort of, I don't know. It's you play it on a court very similar to a tennis court. I think it's just a little
Okay.
bit smaller. And I think you have smaller, I don't know if they're paddles or if there's just smaller rackets, but it's sort of like a shrunken down version of tennis. And I think it's more common to play with two people on its side versus
Okay.
one person on each side.
How many variations of that game does there need to be?
I know there's badminton, there's tennis, there's pickleball, there's ping pong,
The racquetball.
there's racquetball, would you say volleyball is up there because you're hitting over a net?
It's essentially another version of that same kind of thing of get the ball over the net.
Yeah. So then there's water polo. Well, that's not over a net.
Water
right? That's
polo is
goals.
more like
That's a goal at
yeah.
each
Water
end, right?
polo is more like water soccer.
Is there a water variation then of like tennis? I don't think. Do they play like water volleyball at all?
Yeah, there's like water volleyball.
Peculiar.
I don't know if that's like a professional sport as much, but I mean, I've definitely played versions of that in like a pool.
You've played water volleyball?
Yeah.
Marco Polo? No.
But it's the same as essentially most sports are all just a variation of the same fucking thing.
Get the
it's either
object
get
to
it
the-
over the net
yeah.
or get it into the goal. So it's like, football, hockey, soccer, rugby. I mean, those are all essentially two teams, get the ball to the other side, score a point.
Well, I guess what this says about humanity is we love to run around on rectangles
Yeah.
and pay the people that do that way too much money.
Exactly.
Now, baseball, that's the standout. Baseball, softball, kickball. I mean,
That's the standout. Then you list two more of the games that are exactly the same as baseball.
no, I'm saying because they're not rectangles.
Okay, I got you.
It's changing it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying baseball is the standout, and then I list two very
Other
similar
sports
sports
that
that make it not a standout. No, I'm saying they're
Yeah.
standout from the rectangular-based sports.
Gotcha.
They call it a diamond, but it's really a square that you just turn 45 degrees. You're not fooling anybody. Baseball.
I mean, aren't all diamonds just a square you've turned 45 degrees?
Yes. Although a diamond on a playing card is typically more like it's not all four
It's
sides are
oblong.
equal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like a parallelogram, which a square is technically, but you know, it doesn't qualify as a square or a diamond. Well, I guess it is supposed to be a diamond, but then when you have a diamond, like the stone, it's not shaped like that at all.
Yeah, because that's just the name of the gem itself, not the shape.
Yes, but why? Why is it called a diamond?
Why is anything
Which came
called
first?
anything?
Which came first, the diamond, the stone, or the diamond, the shape? I know as far as existence
That's a
goes,
good question.
it's probably the stone, because
Yeah.
humanity would have had to have named the shape
Mm-hmm.
the diamond, although we named the stone the diamond. But I guess
humanity has named everything.
that's true. Were there naturally occurring diamond stones in the earth before there were any shapes
I would say
in
yes.
the shape of a diamond? You think so?
Well, I mean, not necessarily. There's probably stuff shaped in the shape of a diamond at since forever as well. It's just nobody said, "Oh, that's diamond shaped."
But when did
until they decided that that's what that was.
But then the stone wasn't called a diamond until we said that stone's called a diamond.
Both things didn't exist as those names until we named them those names.
Yeah.
But both things existed at those times.
They probably
I guarantee you
existed
things
at the
were
same-
shaped in a diamond shaped, and the gem diamond existed well before anything was ever named.
I would guess. Here's my guess.
Mm-hmm.
There were things that were in the shape of what we know to be the diamond shape before the stone of diamond had formed in the ground. I'm gonna say that's the case. I think it's more likely.
That's a hard call.
It is, but considering what it takes to form a diamond versus something just happening to be the shape of a diamond.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't. Yeah,
I'd say it's a lot simpler to be the shape of a diamond than to form a diamond stone in the ground. The conditions are
it's
so specific.
simpler for you.
Yeah,
simpler for you to be shaped like a diamond than it is
no,
for you
not
to
for
make
me
a
to be
diamond.
shaped like a diamond, but I can make something in a diamond shape.
Oh yeah, I
way
could cut a piece
easier.
of paper into a diamond shaped right
I mean,
now.
I can only crank out 2-3 diamonds a year. The stone, but the shape, I can make.
That's
I could
still
sit and make
impressive.
I could sit and make 100 right
considering
now.
it takes a long time for a diamond to form naturally.
I'm on the trajectory to devalue the diamond. I'm going to saturate the world with
Good luck.
diamonds
Because the world is already saturated with them. It's just that
we don't have them yet.
that so many are held by companies that are trying to keep the value up. And the only reason there's value on a diamond at all is because we allow there to be a value on a diamond.
Well, that's anything.
Because the diamond doesn't serve a fucking purpose other than, engagement rings. The only reason diamonds became popular was because a jeweler got a marketing campaign to work to get diamonds to seem desirable, and therefore they are ridiculously expensive. And it's really just a worthless gem.
Yep. All of jewelry
That's
is
the same argument I make for any sort of form of celebrity. It's like the only reason you're allowed to be popular is because we're allowing you that right. We continue to go see your movies. We continue to subscribe to your bullshit. It's the only reason. That's why I hate anytime a celebrity is an asshole to a fan.
Oh yeah.
It's like the only reason you are allowed to be who you are and make the money you make is because we go and see your shit. As soon as you start being an asshole, we're just gonna stop seeing your shit. Nobody's gonna want to hire you anymore. So stop being a dick to people who like you. Oh, dropped my pen.
I feel like I don't know, it's hard to say. Is the world getting less and less tolerant of that behavior, or are we more likely to, be enraged at the moment and then just move on and forget about it shortly after? Depending on I mean, if we're just talking about them just in general, just being assholes, I think that still exists at a high level and nothing happens as a result of it. And when you're getting into very serious allegations, then it's a different story. Look at your Weinsteins and your Spaceys and your whatnots, and you're not likely to come back from that. But yeah, just being a jerk, I think that happens all the time still. And it doesn't affect them. People still see their,
it's like, he's an asshole, but man, such a good actor.
Same thing with,
It's like,
athletes,
Yeah.
Well, we could go into all that, but I don't think we should. Our position is, I think, similar on it.
Yeah. Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
It's easier to be nice.
Unless that's just who you are. If you're just an asshole, it's easier to be an asshole. It's like you have to try to be nice.
Yeah.
But it's better for everyone to be nice.
Yeah. We all live on this planet. We all go through similar shit every day. Just be nice. Simple kindness goes a long way.
I dare you to get anybody to back you on that stance, Matt. You're not going to get anyone to back you up on that and support you. You're like me, all the things I went on about earlier. No one's going to back me on those things.
No, you're super alone.
What is super alone
That's
versus just
subject.
alone? What's the difference between alone and super alone? What's the threshold?
Complete seclusion. I don't know.
So,
like if you were just going to go plop yourself in the middle of nowhere, build you a little house, live off the grid, super alone.
I'd like to be gridless.
Yeah, it'd be nice to not be held down by the constraints of society.
Of the grid.
The Matrix.
I'm gridlocked.
I'm Grimlock.
What is that from? Yes.
Transformers, dude. I think he was one of the dinosaur Transformers. I
think you're right.
Yeah, which I think is not called a dinosaur Transformer. It's called a Dinobot or something, isn't it?
There's Dinobot, and then I remember there was those Beast. What was it called? Beast Wars or something, where they had they were like animals.
Separate.
It was a separate thing.
I think so.
I remember there was some kind of computer animated show of that was on TV for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I dug the old school Transformers cartoon. Like nobody's but us.
Robots in disguise.
Bye.
Bye. See you next Tuesday. Bye.
For sure.
We are on TikTok now, which makes us even cooler. HS Famous. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HSFamousPod. Email us directly at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. We have Patreon too, but you'll never go there. Altogether, our hearts beat as one.